Picture yourself on a battlefield, the air thick with chaos, your mind a fortress under siege. Distraction is the enemy creeping in with seductive whispers. Scroll this, watch that, rest now. Why do you falter? Why do you trade the blade of knowledge for the fleeting comfort of noise? In this war for your future, every moment you surrender to distraction is a wound to your potential. You are a warrior, and that stack of unread books, that challenging text, is the whetstone waiting to sharpen your mind into a weapon. Welcome to the battle against distraction, the first skirmish in your quest to force yourself to read every day. Knowledge is your arsenal, your shield, your sword. Will you wield it, or will you fall to the enemy's charm? Feel the weight of this fight. It's time to stand, to choose to forge your edge. Imagine yourself as a young professional sitting at your desk late at night. The glow of your phone casts shadows across a stack of books, titles on leadership strategy, innovation that could propel your career to new heights. But your thumb moves on autopilot, swiping through endless feeds of memes, videos, and hollow updates. Minutes bleed into hours. The books gather dust, their wisdom locked away, while your mind dulls with each mindless scroll. You tell yourself, I'll read tomorrow, but tomorrow becomes next week, then next month. A promotion slips through your fingers. A colleague who devoured those same books takes the spotlight. The sting of regret bites deep. You've surrendered to distraction, traded growth for comfort, and now you stand on the battlefield unarmed. But here's the lesson: you are a warrior, and knowledge is the blade you must sharpen. That stack of books isn't just paper, it's steel waiting to be honed. Every page you turn cuts through ignorance. Every idea you absorb strengthens your grip. As Napoleon Hill wrote in Think and Grow Rich, knowledge is only potential power. It becomes power only when and if it is organized into definite plans of action. You didn't lose that promotion to talent, you lost it to distraction. Pick up the book, turn the page, sharpen your mind. The battle isn't over, it's just begun. Now see yourself as a student hunched over a desk in a quiet dorm room. A dense textbook lies open before you, its pages filled with concepts that twist your mind into knots. You've read 3 pages and already frustration gnaws at you. This is too hard, you mutter. Your phone buzzes, a siren call to escape. You grab it, diving into a stream of videos, games, and chats. The textbook sits abandoned, a fortress you've chosen not to defend. Hours pass and guilt creeps in. A test looms and you're unprepared. Your grades slip, your confidence cracks. Distraction has stormed your walls and you've handed it the key. Yet pause and see the truth. Every struggle with that text is a grindstone sharpening your intellect. You are a warrior, and knowledge isn't a gift, it's a weapon forged through effort. Each difficult page is a strike against the stone, each concept mastered a deadly edge. The discomfort isn't failure, it's the fire tempering your steel. Turn back to the book. Wrestle with the words. Build your fortress brick by brick. The cost of surrender is far greater than the pain of persistence. Choose to fight. Let's step back and survey the battlefield. Why do you struggle to read daily? Why does distraction wield such power over you? It's not mere laziness. It's a siege on your attention, a relentless assault by a world designed to pull you away. Every notification is an arrow, every fleeting amusement a battering ram against your resolve. You live in an age of endless noise, where stillness feels like surrender, where depth feels like drowning. But ask yourself this: how many opportunities have you buried under the rubble of wasted time? How many versions of yourself, wiser, stronger, bolder, have you left unborn because you couldn't resist the lure of the shallow? Distraction isn't just a habit, it's a thief. It steals your focus, your growth, your future. Yet you are a warrior, and warriors don't flee from battle. Knowledge is your blade, and reading is the act of sharpening it. Each day you choose not to read, your edge dulls, your defenses weaken. Think of your mind as a sword neglected, and rust creeps in. Hone it, and it cleaves through any obstacle. The siege is real, but so is your power to resist. Stand firm. Pick up the book. Let the noise fall silent as you forge your weapon in the quiet. Dig deeper now. What is the true cost of surrendering to distraction? It's not just missed promotions or failed tests, it's the erosion of who you could become. Every time you choose the easy path, you chip away at your own foundation. You're like a warrior who refuses to train, believing the battle will never come. But the battle is here every day in the choices you make. Distraction promises comfort, but it delivers chains. It binds you to mediocrity, to a life half-lived, to a mind half-formed. Can you feel the weight of that loss? Can you bear the thought of looking back years from now and seeing a trail of abandoned books, unsharpened blades, and unclaimed victories? Knowledge is your weapon, but it demands effort to wield. Reading isn't a pastime, it's a discipline, a deliberate act of war against ignorance. As a warrior, you must embrace the grind of sharpening your blade. The cost of distraction isn't just in what you lose today, it's in the dreams you forfeit tomorrow. See the stack of books as a forge, each page a spark that hardens your steel. The world will always tempt you to lay down your weapon. Don't. Hold fast. Sharpen your mind. The cost of surrender is a life without edge, without purpose, without power. So how do you fight this enemy? How do you reclaim your focus from the grip of distraction? Start small, but start now. Set aside just 10 minutes each day, 10 minutes to pick up a book instead of your phone. Place it where you can see it, a constant reminder of your battle. Turn off notifications, silence the noise. Create a sacred space, a corner of your world where distraction cannot enter. When the urge to scroll strikes pause, breathe. Ask yourself, am I trading my future for this fleeting escape? The answer will ground you. Track your progress. Mark each day you read, even if it's just a page. That mark is a victory, a strike against the enemy. Build momentum. 10 minutes becomes 20, then an hour. You're not just reading, you're sharpening your blade, preparing for the battles ahead. Remember, this isn't about perfection, it's about persistence. If you falter, don't despair. Pick up the book again. Every page is a step toward reclaiming your battlefield. Fight for it. Distraction thrives on impulse, so guard your mind with intention. Before you begin reading, set a clear purpose. Why this book? What do you seek to gain? Write it down, a single sentence to anchor you. Maybe it's I'm reading to master a skill, or I'm reading to expand my perspective. That purpose is your shield deflecting the arrows of doubt and temptation. When your mind wanders, return to it. Let it pull you back to the page. And when the text feels heavy, when the words seem to mock you, don't retreat. Break it down. Read one paragraph, then stop. Reflect. What did you learn? Write a note, a single thought. This act keeps you engaged, turns struggle into strategy. You're not just a reader, you're a warrior fortifying your mind. Guard your fortress with these small, deliberate acts. As Stephen Covey wrote in The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, the key is not to prioritize what's on your schedule, but to schedule your priorities. Schedule reading, make it non-negotiable. Defend your edge. Finally, let's speak of discipline, the heart of this battle. Reading every day isn't a choice, it's a vow. It's the warrior's code, the promise to sharpen your blade no matter the storm around you. Distraction will always howl at your gates, tempting you with ease, with instant gratification. But ease is a lie. Growth lives in resistance, in the quiet grind of turning pages, in the slow burn of understanding. Are you willing to endure that burn? Are you ready to forge a mind so sharp it cuts through any challenge? Think of knowledge as a river carving its path through stone over time. You don't see the change in a day, but each drop, each page etches deeper. Distraction diverts that river, scatters its power. Discipline keeps it flowing. You are the warrior standing at the river's edge, deciding its course. Choose to read even when it's hard, even when the world pulls you away. Your blade isn't sharpened in a single swing, but in 1,000 steady strokes. Commit to the work. The battle against distraction is won not with grand gestures, but with quiet, relentless discipline. You've walked this battlefield with me, felt the weight of distraction, and seen the cost of surrender. You've witnessed the professional who lost their edge, the student who abandoned their fortress, and you've faced the siege on your own attention. The lesson is clear: distraction is a relentless enemy, but you hold the power to resist. Knowledge is your weapon, and reading is the act of sharpening it. Every day you choose to read, you hone your mind for the battles ahead. Every page is a victory, every idea a strike against ignorance. As Jim Rohn once said, reading is essential for those who seek to rise above the ordinary. Rise, warrior. Don't let distraction dull your blade. Now stand at the edge of this fight. The battle against distraction is only the beginning. Ahead lies the deeper work of building the habit of wielding knowledge with purpose. But for now, let this truth echo in your soul. You are forged in the fire of choice. Choose to read, choose to grow, choose to fight. Final mantra: sharpen your blade. Knowledge is your power. Picture yourself in a cavernous mine, the air thick with dust, your hands gripping a worn chisel. Before you looms a wall of unyielding stone, hiding treasures of wisdom and power just beyond your reach. The world outside tempts you with shortcuts, flashing promises of instant success, quick answers, and effortless wins. Why do you hesitate? Why do you doubt the slow, steady strike of your tool? The illusion of instant wins seduces with its siren call, but it's a lie that buries the gold of true transformation. In this journey to arm yourself with knowledge to make reading your unbreakable weapon, you must see through the mirage. The path to mastery isn't a sprint across a meadow, it's a deliberate chiseling through stone. Force yourself to read every day, for each page turned is a strike against the rock, revealing the hidden insights that will forge your future. You're not just holding a book, you're wielding a tool of immense power. Are you ready to dig deeper? Imagine yourself as an aspiring entrepreneur, burning with ambition to build an empire. You've got a laptop, a dream, and a hunger for success. Late at night, you scroll through endless online forums and social media feeds, hunting for the ultimate hack: a 5-minute video promising 6-figure success, or a viral post claiming to reveal the one trick to instant wealth. You bookmark dozens of these quick fixes, your mind buzzing with fleeting inspiration. Why waste time on dense, dusty business books when the internet offers bite-sized brilliance days turn to weeks and your venture stumbles? Customers don't come, ideas flop. The shortcuts you chased led to dead ends, leaving you frustrated and lost. You've built nothing because you've learned nothing of substance. Then one quiet evening, exhaustion forces you to pause. You pick up a worn copy of The Lean Startup by Eric Ries, a book you've ignored for months. As you read, a slow realization dawns: the principles of iteration, customer feedback, and sustainable growth aren't sexy or instant, but they are solid. Each page is a strike of your chisel against stone, cracking open insights you couldn't find in 1,000 viral posts. Ries writes, "The only way to win is to learn faster than anyone else." That line hits you like a revelation. You've been racing for quick wins, but real progress demands depth. Like a miner who finally uncovers a vein of gold after relentless effort, you see that persistent reading, day after day, builds the foundation no shortcut can replicate. The lesson is clear: the illusion of instant wins fades when you commit to the slow, steady work of absorbing true knowledge. Now picture yourself craving change. You're stuck in a rut, yearning for a spark to ignite your life. You turn to motivational videos, endless streams of charismatic speakers shouting about grit and glory. Their words electrify you. "You've got this," they roar, and for a fleeting moment you believe it. You feel unstoppable as you binge clip after clip, your heart pounding with borrowed courage. But the hours pass and the fire fades. You haven't moved, you haven't grown. The hard work of transformation, studying ideas, wrestling with complex thoughts, reading the books that shape those speakers, feels too heavy, too slow. Why grind through pages when a 3-minute video can inspire you? One day after another, hollow burst of motivation, you slump in defeat. On a whim, you grab As a Man Thinketh by James Allen, a slim volume gathering dust on your shelf. Its quiet wisdom cuts deeper than any video. Allen writes, "A man's mind may be likened to a garden, which may be intelligently cultivated or allowed to run wild." You realize you've let your mind run wild, feeding on fleeting highs instead of planting seeds of lasting growth. Reading this book isn't a rush. It's a deliberate strike against the stone wall of your ignorance. Each chapter chips away at your resistance, revealing treasures of self-mastery you couldn't find in a highlight reel. Like a miner who persists through aching arms and endless rock, you learn that real inspiration isn't consumed, it's cultivated through daily reading. The illusion of instant wins crumbles when you embrace the slow power of transformative ideas. Let's step back and confront a truth you've danced around. Speed is a deceiver. The world screams for immediacy, fast results, rapid rewards, overnight success. You're bombarded with ads for instant solutions, apps that promise mastery in minutes, and gurus selling transformation in a single webinar. But ask yourself, how many times have these quick fixes left you emptier than before? How many dreams have you abandoned because the path felt too long? The illusion of instant wins is a shimmering mirage on the horizon of your potential, vanishing the moment you reach for it. True power, true change doesn't come from a sprint. It comes from the slow, rhythmic strike of a miner's chisel against unyielding stone. Each book you read, each page you turn is a blow that cracks open hidden treasures of insight. Reading isn't glamorous in the moment, it's sweat focus and persistence. But beneath the surface, it forges a weapon. No shortcut can match knowledge. You aren't just gathering facts, you're building a fortress of understanding to weather any storm. So why do you still chase the fleeting when the eternal awaits in the pages before you? Consider the miner in the depths of the earth, surrounded by darkness, his only light a flickering lantern. His arms ache, his back bends under the weight of effort, yet he strikes again and again. He knows the gold isn't on the surface. It's buried deep, hidden by layers of rock that test his resolve. Reading is your mine, and patience is your strength. The illusion of instant wins tells you that wisdom should be easy, that a single viral thread or motivational clip can replace the slow grind of study. But real transformation isn't a gift dropped in your lap, it's a prize you unearth through relentless effort. Have you ever noticed how the most profound lessons in life come after struggle, not before? Each book you commit to, each idea you wrestle with, is a layer of stone you chip away. The treasure isn't just the knowledge itself, it's the resilience you build in the process. Like a river carving through a canyon over centuries, your daily reading shapes you into something unbreakable. So stand firm. Trust the weight of patience. The gold of insight is closer than you think, hidden just beyond the next page. When the lure of instant wins tempts you, pause. Before you click on another quick tip video or scroll for a magic bullet, ground yourself with a deliberate act. Build a reading ritual that anchors your day. Start small, commit to just 10 pages daily, no matter how busy you are. Choose a book that challenges you, something foundational to your goals, whether it's business, personal growth, or philosophy. Set a specific time, perhaps the first quiet moments of morning or the last before sleep, and guard that time like a sacred vow. Keep a notebook nearby to jot down one insight, one idea that strikes you. This isn't about speed, it's about consistency. Like a miner who shows up to the same wall of stone each day, your steady effort will reveal treasures over time. When doubt creeps in, whispering that this is too slow, remind yourself every page is a strike against ignorance. Every word builds your weapon of knowledge. You're not chasing a fleeting high, you're forging a lasting edge. Stick to this ritual for 30 days and watch how the illusion of instant wins fades in the face of real progress. The digital world is a double-edged sword, brimming with information, yet drowning you in distraction. When you feel the pull of endless scrolling or the promise of a life-changing post-stop, ask yourself, am I learning or am I escaping? Be honest. If it's the latter, close the tab. Redirect that energy to a book you've been avoiding because it feels too hard or too long. Carry it with you, physically or digitally, so it's always within reach when temptation strikes. Start with a single chapter or even a single page, but start. As you read, underline a sentence that resonates or write a question it sparks in your mind. This act of engagement is your chisel striking stone, breaking through the surface noise to uncover deeper insight. Remember the words of Napoleon Hill in Think and Grow Rich. Knowledge is only potential power. It becomes power only when and if it is organized into definite plans of action. Don't let digital quick fixes steal your focus. Choose the slow, deliberate work of reading and turn potential into power one page at a time. Let's linger on this image of the miner, his hands calloused, his breath heavy as he strikes the stone once more. He doesn't see the gold yet, but he feels its presence, an unshakable belief that keeps him going. Reading is your strike, and knowledge is your gold. The illusion of instant wins wants you to believe that surface level fixes, those shiny, shallow promises, can replace the depth of true understanding. But have you ever achieved anything lasting without effort? Have you ever felt true pride without persistence? The books you read, especially the ones that challenge you, are the layers of stone you must break through. They demand your time, your focus, your patience, but they reward you with treasures. No quick fix can offer clarity, confidence, and conviction. Think of reading as a forging fire, tempering your mind like steel, or as a seed planted in fertile soil, growing slowly but surely into a mighty tree. The world may mock your pace, but the miner doesn't rush. He knows the value of what lies beneath. So must you. Keep reading, keep striking, and trust that every effort brings you closer to the insight that will change everything. You've journeyed through the illusion of instant wins, unmasking the false promises of quick fixes and fleeting highs. You've seen how the aspiring entrepreneur and the inspiration junkie stumbled chasing mirages instead of chiseling through stone for the gold of true knowledge. The reflections and steps shared here point to a singular truth. Real power, real transformation comes from the slow, steady work of reading every day. Knowledge isn't a gift handed to you on a silver platter. It's a treasure you unearth with persistence, page by page, idea by idea. Like the miner who trusts in the unseen gold, you must trust in the unseen power of each book you conquer. The takeaway is clear: the illusion of instant wins pales against the enduring strength of daily reading. As you move forward, carry this resolve into the next leg of your journey, where deeper challenges and greater rewards await. Keep striking at the stone. Keep turning the pages. Your weapon of knowledge grows sharper with every day you commit. Final mantra: keep chiseling. Your treasure of insight is just one page away. Picture this: a barren landscape cracked and dry under a merciless sun. Nothing grows here, or so it seems. Yet beneath the surface, a single seed dares to push its fragile roots into the unyielding soil. Day by day it fights. Day by day it stretches deeper, drawing strength from the harshest ground. That seed is you, and the soil is the resistance you face when you vow to read every day. Knowledge is your weapon, but forging the habit of reading feels like planting roots in a desert. How do you thrive when every part of you screams to give up? Welcome to the battle of building a daily reading routine, a battle you must win. I'm speaking to you, the one who feels too busy, too tired, or too skeptical to pick up a book. You're not alone in this struggle, but you are the only one who can claim victory. In this journey, we'll uncover practical strategies to force yourself into reading every single day, no matter the obstacles. Feel the weight of that barren soil, but know this: every page you turn is a root digging deeper, building strength in adversity. Let's forge this habit together, transforming resistance into resilience. Are you ready to plant your seed and watch it grow? Imagine you're a parent juggling a whirlwind of responsibilities. Your day begins before dawn: lunchboxes to pack, emails to answer, endless errands to run. By the time the house falls silent, exhaustion wraps around you like a heavy fog. Your bed calls, but so does a small, quiet promise you made to yourself: 10 minutes of reading before sleep. That book on your nightstand, untouched for weeks, stares at you with silent judgment. You hesitate. Your body aches. Why bother when rest is so close? Yet something stirs within you, a flicker of defiance. You prop yourself up, open the book, and read. 10 minutes. Just 10. The words blur at first, but slowly they pull you in. Night after night, you return to those 10 minutes, even when every muscle protests. Some nights you manage only a paragraph before your eyes close. Other nights, 10 minutes stretch into 20. Weeks pass and you notice something: your mind feels sharper, your conversations richer. That book isn't just a distraction. It's a sanctuary, a quiet forge where you hammer out strength amid life's chaos. This is the lesson of the tree in barren soil. Like roots seeking water in a wasteland, your small, consistent effort, those 10 minutes, builds something unshakable. You didn't transform overnight. You carved out space day by day until reading became your anchor. The takeaway is clear: start small, but start. Even in exhaustion, 10 minutes can plant a root that grows deeper than you ever imagined. Now picture yourself as someone who scoffs at the idea of reading daily. Books. They're for dreamers, you mutter. I don't have time for theories and stories. Life is practical: bills, deadlines, tangible results. But a nagging thought creeps in. What if you're missing something? What if knowledge really is a weapon you've left on the table? Reluctantly, you decide to test it. 1 page a day. That's all you'll commit to. It's so small it feels almost laughable. You start with a book a friend recommended, something short and simple. The first day you read that single page and shrug, nothing changes. The second day, same thing. But on the third day, a sentence catches you a spark of curiosity. By the end of the week, one page turns into two without you even noticing. A month later, you're devouring chapters, hungry for more. That skepticism, it's gone, replaced by a quiet thrill. You're not just reading, you're arming yourself with ideas, perspectives, insights. Your world feels bigger, and so do you. Here again is the tree in barren soil. That single page was a tiny root barely breaking the surface, yet it reached for more each day. Resistance was your desert doubt, busyness, disbelief, but you pushed through. The lesson shines bright. Even the smallest action repeated with intent grows into a hunger for knowledge. You didn't believe in reading at first, but you forced yourself, and now you wield its power. That's the takeaway. Begin, no matter how small, and watch your appetite for growth awaken. Let's pause and dig deeper into this struggle. Resistance isn't just a feeling, it's the barren soil of your mind, hard and unyielding, telling you that reading daily is impossible. It whispers that you're too busy, too tired, too far behind. It points to every distraction, social media, endless tasks, the lure of mindless entertainment, and says this is easier. But tell me, how many times have you let resistance bury your potential? How often have you traded the slow build of knowledge for the quick comfort of avoidance? Think of that tree again, pushing roots into a wasteland. Every day you choose not to read, the soil hardens further. But every day you force yourself, whether it's 10 minutes or one page, you crack that surface just a little more. Resistance isn't your enemy, it's your proving ground. It's the weight that makes you stronger when you push against it. Reading daily isn't about enjoying every moment. It's about forging a habit that transforms you. As Napoleon Hill once said, strength and growth come only through continuous effort and struggle. You don't grow in soft, fertile ground. You grow in the desert, where every root you plant is a victory over doubt. So stand firm, force yourself, break the soil. Consider this growth is rarely loud or sudden. A tree doesn't burst into the sky overnight. It builds silently, root by root, day by day. So it is with reading. You might not feel the shift after one book or even 10. But beneath the surface, every page you turn weaves a network of strength, ideas that connect, perspectives that challenge, wisdom that anchors. Why do you doubt this slow power? Have you forgotten that the mightiest oaks began as fragile seeds? Reading daily is your act of planting. It's not glamorous. It's not always exciting. Sometimes it feels like a chore. But each word you absorb is a root reaching deeper, drawing nourishment from the barren soil of your resistance. Over time, those roots become unbreakable. They hold you steady when life's storms rage, doubt, failure, uncertainty. Knowledge becomes your weapon, not because it's flashy, but because it's forged in quiet persistence. Reflect on this. The most powerful transformations are often the slowest. So trust the process. Keep reading. Let your roots grow deep, even when the surface shows nothing. Your strength is building, and soon the world will see it. Now let's get to the grit of making this happen. You want to read every day, but resistance looms large. Here's your first strategy: carve out a sacred space for reading, no matter how small. Start with just 5 or 10 minutes before bed, during a lunch break, or while your coffee brews. Pick a spot, whether it's a cozy chair or a quiet corner, and make it yours. Keep your book there, visible so it calls to you. Turn off notifications. Silence the world for those few minutes. When exhaustion or doubt creeps in, pause. Remind yourself why you started. Maybe it's to grow wiser, to escape stress, or to arm yourself with ideas. Write that reason on a sticky note and keep it in your book as a marker. If 10 minutes feels impossible, cut it to 5. If 5 feels heavy, read one paragraph. The key isn't perfection, it's showing up. Consistency, even in tiny doses, plants those roots in barren soil. As James Clear advises in Atomic Habits, make it so easy you can't say no. Start small, protect your space, and build from there. You've got this. Here's another tool to forge your reading habit: stack it with an existing routine and track your progress. Pair reading with something you already do daily: brushing your teeth, waiting for the bus, or winding down after dinner. For example, commit to reading one page while your tea steeps. This habit stacking ties your new goal to an old anchor, making it harder to skip. It's a quiet way to trick resistance into submission. Next, track your streak. Use a simple notebook or an app to mark each day you read, even if it's just a few lines. Draw a check mark, write the date or note what you learned. Seeing that chain grow fuels your fire. If you miss a day, don't spiral. Start again. The soil may harden, but you can always break it anew. Remember, as Robin Sharma wrote in The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari, small daily improvements are the key to staggering long-term results. Stack your reading, track your effort, and watch those roots dig deeper. Force yourself one day at a time. Let's end this exploration with a final truth. Knowledge isn't just a tool. It's your weapon in a world that thrives on distraction and superficiality. Every book you read, every idea you wrestle with, sharpens your mind like a blade on a whetstone. But a weapon is useless if left untouched. Why do you hesitate to wield it? Are you afraid of the effort, or do you doubt its power? Return to the image of the tree. Its roots in barren soil don't just seek survival. They claim territory, turning wasteland into foundation. So it is with reading. Each day you force yourself to pick up a book, you claim ground in your mind ground that no one can take from you. Knowledge fortifies you against life's chaos. It gives you clarity when others falter, courage when others retreat. But you must forge this habit even when the soil resists. You must plant your roots even when the sun scorches. Because in the end, the weapon of knowledge isn't given, it's built. So build it. Read daily. Arm yourself for the battles ahead. You've walked through the desert of resistance with me, seen how a busy parent and a hardened skeptic planted their seeds and learned that forging a daily reading habit is a fight worth winning. The takeaway stands tall: consistency, no matter how small, transforms resistance into strength. 10 minutes or one page, each effort is a root pushing deeper into barren soil, building a foundation of knowledge that no storm can uproot. You've discovered practical ways to carve out space stack habits and track progress. You've reflected on the slow, silent power of growth and the weapon that knowledge becomes when wielded daily. Now, as we close this chapter, hold this truth close: you are the tree, and every page you turn is a root claiming ground. Keep forcing yourself even when the soil feels unyielding. The next section awaits, where we'll explore how to wield this weapon of knowledge in the battles of life. Until then, let this mantra echo in your mind and fuel your resolve. Plant your roots. Your strength grows deeper every day. Picture yourself standing before a towering fortress, its walls rising high into the sky, unyielding against the fiercest storms. This is no mere structure of stone. It's your mind, your intellect built brick by brick with every page you've ever read. Each word, each idea, each insight is a layer of strength, a shield against doubt, a sword against ignorance. But here's the question that burns. Are you fortifying this fortress daily, or are you leaving its gates wide open to the chaos of the world? In this battle of life, knowledge is your weapon, and daily reading is the forge where it's sharpened. You're not just absorbing facts, you're transforming challenges into opportunities for victory. Every book, every article, every line you conquer becomes a brick in your impenetrable wall. This is the heart of our journey together, realizing that forcing yourself to read every day isn't a chore, it's a rebellion against mediocrity. It's your refusal to be outmaneuvered by life's uncertainties. So stand tall, pick up that book. Let's build your fortress page by page and turn every obstacle into a stepping stone for triumph. Imagine you're sitting in a sterile waiting room, your palms sweaty, your heart pounding like a war drum. You're one of 10 candidates vying for a single job, a role that could change the trajectory of your life. The others clutch their resumes, rehearsing generic answers. Their confidence a thin veneer over uncertainty. But you're different. You've been reading every day, devouring books on industry trends, human psychology, and the art of persuasion. Your mind is a fortress, each page a brick that's fortified your understanding. The interview begins. Questions fly at you like arrows, probing your weaknesses, testing your resolve. How would you handle a sudden market shift, they ask. While others stutter, you draw on insights from a book you read last week, The Innovator's Dilemma by Clayton Christensen. You speak of disruptive innovation, of adapting with foresight, your words sharp and precise. The panel leans in, captivated. Another question. Why should we choose you? You don't just list skills. You weave a narrative of resilience inspired by a memoir on grit you finished last month. You outshine them all, not because you're naturally gifted, but because you've armed yourself with knowledge. When the call comes, it's no surprise you've secured the role. As you hang up, you realize the truth. Those daily hours spent reading weren't a luxury. They were your training ground. Each page was a brick in your fortress, turning a daunting challenge into a moment of victory. The lesson is clear: knowledge doesn't just prepare you, it elevates you above the fray. Now envision yourself as a leader at the helm of a struggling team. The company is in turmoil, a financial crisis looms like a dark cloud, threatening layoffs, eroding trust. Your team looks to you, their eyes filled with fear, waiting for direction. The weight of responsibility presses down, a storm raging within and without, but you don't crumble. Why? Because you've built your fortress over years of daily reading, particularly biographies of history's greatest leaders. In the quiet of your office, late at night, you recall lessons from Team of Rivals by Doris Kearns Goodwin, a book on Abraham Lincoln's leadership. Lincoln faced division, uncertainty, and unimaginable pressure, yet he united his adversaries through empathy and strategic vision. Inspired, you refuse to react with panic. Instead, you gather your team, listen to their concerns, and craft a plan that balances transparency with hope. You draw on another book, a biography of Winston Churchill, remembering how he turned despair into defiance with unwavering resolve. You speak to your team with that same fire, outlining steps to cut costs without cutting morale, to innovate under pressure. Days turn to weeks and slowly the storm subsides. Your decisions, rooted in the wisdom of those who've walked through fire before, steer the ship to safer waters. The crisis becomes a turning point, a story of resilience your team recounts with pride. Each page you read in those historical tomes was a brick in your mental fortress, transforming uncertainty into decisive action. The takeaway shines bright: knowledge isn't just power, it's the compass that guides you through chaos to victory. Let's pause and look inward. What is this fortress we speak of, this structure you build with every page? It's not a physical wall, but a bastion of thought, a sanctuary of clarity in a world of noise. Every book you read, every idea you wrestle with, adds a brick to its foundation. Think of the challenges you face: doubt, rejection, fear of the unknown. Without knowledge, they're invaders breaching your defenses, sowing chaos. But with a mind fortified by daily reading, they become mere skirmishes, opportunities to test your strength. Consider this. How many times have you faced a problem and felt utterly lost, only to realize later that the answer was waiting in a book you hadn't yet opened? Knowledge is both shield and sword. It protects you from being blindsided and empowers you to strike with precision. Like a river carving through stone over centuries, reading shapes your intellect, slow but relentless. It's not about speed, it's about consistency. A single page today, another tomorrow, and soon you've built an edifice no storm can topple. So ask yourself, are you laying bricks daily, or are you waiting for the walls to build themselves? The choice is yours, but victory belongs to the builder. Now let's turn to the nature of challenges. They're not enemies to flee from. They're the anvil on which your greatness is forged. Every obstacle, every moment of uncertainty is a call to arms, a summons to wield the weapon of knowledge. When you force yourself to read every day, you're not escaping life's battles. You're preparing to win them. Think of a blacksmith shaping a blade. The steel doesn't resist the hammer. It transforms under the blows, becoming stronger, sharper. So too does your mind under the weight of consistent learning. Have you ever noticed how the hardest moments in life reveal your true arsenal? A crisis at work, a personal setback, a dream that feels out of reach. These are the fires that test your fortress. But if you've built it brick by brick, page by page, you don't just endure, you thrive. Knowledge turns the impossible into the inevitable. It's the quiet voice that whispers, "You've read about this. You've studied this. You're ready." So what challenge are you shying away from today? Pick up a book. Let its pages be the hammer that shapes your resolve into something unbreakable. Let's get practical. Building your fortress of knowledge isn't a vague aspiration. It's a deliberate act, a daily commitment. Start small, but start now. Choose a book, any book that speaks to a challenge you're facing. It could be a biography for inspiration, a business guide for strategy, or even a novel for perspective. Set aside just 15 minutes each day, a sacred window where the world fades and your mind expands. Place the book where you'll see it on your nightstand by your coffee mug as a reminder that this is non-negotiable. When distractions pull at you and they will pause, ask yourself, is this fleeting comfort worth more than the strength I'm building? Keep a notebook nearby. Jot down one insight per session, one brick for your fortress. Over weeks, you'll see the wall rise, ideas connecting, confidence growing. If you miss a day, don't despair. Pick up the book again. Consistency, not perfection, is your ally. Remember, every page is a victory, every chapter, a new layer of armor. Force yourself to read and watch how challenges shrink before your sharpened mind. Knowledge isn't just for quiet reflection, it's for the heat of battle. When a challenge looms, an interview, a conflict, a decision, don't freeze. Step back and tap into your fortress. Ask, what have I read that applies here? Recall a relevant story, principle, or strategy from your reading. Write it down if you must, a quick note to anchor your thoughts. Then act. Use that insight as your shield, letting it guide your words or choices. If doubt creeps in, counter it with a mantra inspired by Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich. Every adversity, every failure, every heartache carries with it the seed of an equal or greater benefit. Believe that your reading has prepared you even if the connection isn't obvious. After the moment passes, reflect. What worked, what didn't? This isn't just learning, it's forging. Each application of knowledge is a brick, strengthening your defenses for the next storm. Force yourself to read daily, and you'll never face a challenge unarmed. Finally, let's consider the timeless nature of knowledge. It's not a fleeting trend or a temporary fix. It's a weapon that endures across centuries. The wisdom in a book written 100 years ago can save you today, just as your insights might inspire someone 100 years hence. Think of your fortress as a lighthouse, its beam cutting through the fog of uncertainty, built not just for you, but for all who seek its shelter. Every page you read adds to its glow, illuminating paths you didn't know existed. Have you ever wondered why the greatest minds in history were voracious readers? They understood that knowledge compounds like interest in a vault, growing silently until it becomes an unstoppable force. Challenges are inevitable, but defeat is not. With a mind fortified by daily reading, you don't just react to life, you shape it. You turn setbacks into stepping stones, crises into catalysts. So what are you waiting for? The next page is a brick waiting to be laid. Build now and let no storm shake you. As we close this chapter of our journey, let's stand before the fortress we've envisioned together. You've seen how daily reading transforms challenges into opportunities for victory, how a job seeker's preparation turned an interview into a triumph, how a leader's wisdom navigated a crisis with unshakable resolve. Each story, each reflection drives home the takeaway: knowledge is your shield and sword, a power you wield only by forcing yourself to read every day. It's not enough to admire the idea. You must act page by page, brick by brick, until your intellect stands as an unbreakable bastion against life's fiercest storms. Remember, this isn't the end, but a call to fortify further. In the battles ahead, your mind will be tested, but you now know the secret knowledge turns obstacles into victories. Keep building, keep reading, and let no challenge find you unprepared. As we move forward, carry this truth into new territories of growth, ready to conquer whatever lies beyond the horizon. Final mantra: lay the brick. Read the page. Your fortress rises today. Picture yourself standing on a jagged cliff at midnight, surrounded by an impenetrable fog. The world below is chaos, waves, crashing winds, howling uncertainty gnawing at your core. Yet in the distance, a lighthouse stands, unyielding its beam, slicing through the haze, revealing a path you couldn't see before. That light, that unwavering guide, is the power of reading. It's the tool that carves clarity from confusion, the weapon that arms you against life's storms. You've come this far, but the journey doesn't end. The endless horizon of wisdom calls to you now, not just to walk the path, but to become the lighthouse for others. In this moment, you're not merely a reader. You're a bearer of knowledge, a force to inspire. Let's step into this boundless expanse together, where every page turned is a step toward illuminating the world around you. This is about embracing reading as a lifelong journey, a sacred commitment to growth that transforms not only your mind, but the lives of those you touch. It's about wielding knowledge as your weapon, cutting through doubt and despair to forge a future of purpose. Feel the weight of this calling. You're not just holding a book, you're holding a torch. Let it burn bright. Imagine yourself years ago sitting at a cluttered desk, a book staring back at you like an uninvited guest. You didn't want to read. Life was too loud, bills piling up, dreams slipping away, the weight of daily struggles, suffocating any desire for quiet reflection. Books felt like a luxury, a waste of time when action seemed the only answer. But one day, pushed to the edge by a rejection that stung deeper than you'd admit, you cracked open a worn paperback. It wasn't magic at first. The words dragged, your mind wandered. Yet something in those pages, a story of someone who rose from ashes, clung to you. Night after night, you returned, not out of joy, but out of desperation for something to hold on to. Over months, the habit took root. You began to see patterns in your chaos, solutions in the margins of those stories. That reluctant reader became a voracious one, and now years later you stand before a group of young dreamers, their eyes wide with the same doubt you once carried. You share how a single book shifted your perspective on failure, how it taught you to see setbacks as stepping stones. You tell them about the lighthouse of reading, how it pierced the fog of your uncertainty and showed you a way forward. They listen, and one of them picks up a book that night. You've passed the torch. The lesson burns clear. Knowledge isn't just power. It's a gift you're meant to share. Like a lighthouse, your journey through reading doesn't just guide you, it saves others lost in their own storms. Now picture yourself older, weathered by life's relentless tides. You faced storms that nearly broke you, lost betrayal moments when the ground beneath you crumbled. Each time you turned to the quiet sanctuary of a book. Not as an escape, but as a map. You remember the nights spent poring over pages by a dim lamp, the world outside raging, while within those lines you found anchors. A biography of someone who endured unimaginable hardship, taught you resilience. A philosophical text forced you to question your own bitterness, reshaping how you faced pain. Year after year, daily reading became your compass, guiding you through the fog of grief and uncertainty. Reflecting now, you see it so clearly. Every book was a beam of light cutting through the darkness of your hardest days. You didn't just survive those storms. You learned to sail through them, stronger, wiser. The lighthouse of knowledge stood firm when everything else faltered. And as you sit with a journal chronicling these lessons for your children or a friend in need, you realize the true depth of your journey. Reading didn't just save you, it gave you the tools to rebuild, to stand as a beacon for others. The takeaway is undeniable. Knowledge absorbed day by day is the weapon that turns your scars into strength, illuminating paths you never thought possible. Step back for a moment and consider the vastness of the human mind. It's an uncharted ocean, deep and wild, with currents of doubt and waves of fear threatening to pull you under. Yet reading is your lighthouse, its steady glow revealing shores of understanding you didn't know existed. To embrace reading as a lifelong journey is to accept that you'll never know it all, and that's the beauty of it. Every book is a new horizon, every idea a spark that ignites something within you. Why settle for the shallow waters of complacency when the endless expanse of wisdom awaits? How many truths have you yet to uncover, hidden in the pages you've not yet turned? This journey isn't about speed or volume, it's about depth and persistence. Like a river carving through stone over centuries, knowledge shapes you slowly, relentlessly. You don't just read to learn, you read to become. Each word you absorb is a brick in the fortress of your mind, each insight a blade in the arsenal of your spirit. And as you grow, you begin to see your purpose to wield this weapon of knowledge, not for yourself alone, but to light the way for others. You're not just a traveler on this path. You're a guide, a sentinel against the fog of ignorance. Let that responsibility fuel you. The horizon of wisdom is endless, but every step, every page brings you closer to who you're meant to be. Think about the fog that clouds your life, at times those moments of indecision, of feeling lost in a world that moves too fast. What if the answer isn't in running harder or shouting louder, but in standing still with a book in hand, letting its light pierce through? Reading is not a passive act. It's a rebellion against chaos. It's the act of claiming clarity when the world offers only confusion. How many times have you let uncertainty dictate your choices when a single idea from a forgotten page could have changed everything? Consider the lighthouse again. It doesn't move, doesn't chase the ships it guides. It simply stands its beam, unwavering, offering direction to those who seek it. That's the power of knowledge you gain through reading. It anchors you, steadies you, so you can be that same force for others. When you inspire someone to pick up a book to seek their own light, you're not just sharing a habit, you're handing them a weapon to fight their battles. Knowledge is transformative, not just for the mind that holds it, but for the world it touches. You're part of a lineage now, a chain of seekers and sharers, each one passing the torch through generations of fog. Embrace this role. Let your journey with books be the light that others follow. Let's get practical. Embracing reading as a lifelong journey starts with a single deliberate choice. You don't need hours or a library of classics to begin. Start small, but start now. Choose one book, fiction, nonfiction, anything that stirs a flicker of curiosity, and commit to 10 pages a day. Set a specific time, whether it's before bed or with your morning coffee, and guard that slot like it's sacred. When distractions pull, and they will pause, remind yourself, this is my lighthouse. This is my path through the fog. 10 pages may feel insignificant, but over a year, that's dozens of books, dozens of new perspectives arming your mind. Keep a notebook nearby. Jot down one idea or quote that strikes you each day. It's not about quantity, it's about anchoring the lesson. When doubt creeps in, flip through those notes. See how far you've come. And don't stop there, share what you learn. Tell a friend about a book that moved you. Start a conversation. You're not just reading for yourself, you're planting seeds of wisdom in others. As Stephen R. Covey wrote in The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, seek first to understand, then to be understood. Reading builds that understanding, and sharing it builds connection. Make this habit your weapon and watch how it transforms your world. You've built the habit, now wield it to inspire. Think of someone in your life who's struggling, lost in their own fog. Don't lecture, share. Tell them how a book pulled you through a dark time, how it gave you a new lens on life. Be specific. This story about perseverance kept me going when I wanted to quit. Offer to read with them even just a chapter a week. Make it a shared journey. When they hesitate, remind them that knowledge is a weapon anyone can hold. They just need to reach for it. Create a small ritual to pass the torch. Gift a book that changed you with a handwritten note inside about why it matters. Or start a book swap with friends where each person shares a title that shaped them. As Robin Sharma notes in The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari, small daily improvements over time lead to stunning results. Your small act of sharing can spark a lifelong habit in someone else. When you feel resistance, either in yourself or others, pause. Ask, what's one idea worth sharing today? That question is your beam of light cutting through reluctance. Be the lighthouse. Show others that reading isn't a chore, it's a lifeline. As you reflect on your journey with reading, remember the words of James Allen in As a Man Thinketh. A man's mind may be likened to a garden, which may be intelligently cultivated or allowed to run wild. Every day you read, you're tending that garden, planting seeds of thought that grow into towering trees of insight. This isn't a sprint. It's a slow, deliberate cultivation. The compound effect of daily reading those 10 pages, those fleeting moments of clarity, builds a fortress of wisdom over time. You don't see the growth day by day, but look back after a year, and you'll stand in awe of the landscape you've created. Use this truth to fuel your persistence and to inspire others. Tell them, cultivate your mind daily and watch how it shapes your destiny. As we close this chapter of your journey, let the endless horizon of wisdom stretch before you. You've seen how reading transforms, how it turned a reluctant reader into a mentor, how it guided a weary soul through life's darkest storms. You've felt its power as a lighthouse piercing the fog of uncertainty to reveal paths of purpose. The key lesson here is to embrace reading as a lifelong commitment, not just for your own growth, but to inspire and uplift others with the weapon of knowledge. Every page you turn is a victory. Every insight you share a beacon for someone lost in their own haze. Stand tall now. You are not just a reader, you are a force, a guide, a light bearer. As we move forward, prepare to deepen this resolve to explore how knowledge can shape not just your mind, but the very fabric of your actions. Keep this vision alive. Let it drive you to pick up the next book, to share the next idea. The fog may return, but your light will always cut through. Final mantra, be the lighthouse. Let your knowledge shine through every storm.